Hi, my name is Bree. What's your name?
Liz.
Liz, it's so nice to meet you. I'm so glad that you could come in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. How are you enjoying this weather?
It's very cold.
It is cold.
I do not like the cold at all. So, not very much.
Yeah. What sort of weather do you like?
I like fall.
Okay.
But like warm fall.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we get started in talking about what brought you in here today, I just sort of want to clarify how I work and how this session is going to work, and then you're free to ask me any questions you might have. So as far as this session, we're going to be talking for 15 minutes today, and in that time, I'm sort of just going to get to know you a little bit better, figure out why you're here, and we'll also take a thinking break in that time, and that's sort of towards the end of our session, just a time for us both to reflect on everything that we've talked about in our session, and then we'll come back together and talk a little more and then close out the session.
Okay.
And as far as anything you say here today, it's all going to be confidential, but there are some exceptions to that. If you disclose that you're going to harm yourself or somebody else, I do have to report that, just for everybody's safety. And also, if you or somebody else you're going to harm a child or an elderly person or someone with disabilities, I would have to report that as well.
Okay.
Just for everybody's safety.
That makes sense.
Do you have any questions about any of that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if questions come up later, feel free to ask.
Okay.
So what brought you in today?
My husband and I recently filed for divorce, and I have been a stay-at-home mom for the last 10 years since my oldest son was born.
Okay.
And part of our custody agreement is that I have to get a job, obviously, so that I can support the children when they're with me, and not just solely depend on child support. So I need some help, fixing my resume up since it's been so long, and maybe like looking for jobs and help with like interview practice, or maybe even help filling out the applications. And then also I just kind of wanted to see if maybe there was some type of like, I don't want to say therapy, but some type of counseling or something so I can just kind of vent and get all those emotions out.
Yeah. So you're going through a rough time right now, with you and your husband working on getting divorced, and so you mentioned that getting a job is something that you're looking to do, and we definitely have resources we can give you, people that can help you, fix up your resume and practice for interviews, stuff like that. So that's definitely something that we can help you with. And also with the counseling, you said you wanted to vent to somebody, and we can definitely work out a plan for that as well. So you mentioned that you have kids. How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids, 2 boys.
2 boys, and how old are they?
10 and 8.
Oh, okay. All right. And as far as coming to the session today, I know you mentioned that you want to work on your resume and getting a job and stuff like that, but is there anything else you're hoping to get out of this session today?
Basically I just want to be connected with all the resources that I would need. Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Well, again, I'm glad that you could come in today. It was very nice to meet you, and I'm glad that we can get this chance to talk today. As far as all of the divorce and everything, how are you dealing with all of this?
It's really difficult because John, that's my husband, or I guess ex-husband-ish person, he's still living at home, so it's very kind of tense. And the kids, like, we've sat them down and they know that we're not going to be living together, and we're not going to be married anymore, and they seem to be dealing with it okay. I'm not quite sure that they fully understand. So maybe that could be something else that this agency could help with, maybe some type of like family meeting counseling thing to like make sure that kids understand what's going on. But it's been really tense at home, and it's really nice when he's at work. He works a full day, 8 to 5. So when he's not there, it's nice. I can do my own thing and clean and do laundry and that kind of thing. But when he is home, we just kind of try to stay on opposite sides of the house. And I've moved into he's moved into the guest bedroom. Because I'm keeping the house since it's paid off. That's part of the arrangement, is that I get to keep the house, and he'll move to an apartment once the divorce papers are signed and everything. But it's just been very, very tense, and
yeah. So it's, he's still living in the house, and I can see how that would make things very tense, like you said. And so you said that he goes to work during the day, and you stay home with the kids then?
Yeah, they're homeschooled right now. So next year, because I'm gonna have to get a job, they are going to go to public school for the first time. They seem to be really excited about it. They've wanted to go to public school, but for personal reasons, we've decided to homeschool them up until now. So I've been doing that, and they do really well. They're both very bright for their ages.
Okay, and it's very admirable that you're able to homeschool them. That's definitely a lot of responsibility.
It is.
You said they're doing great, and they're very bright. So that really speaks to your teaching skills. And
thank you.
Is that something that you enjoy doing?
I do. I used to teach. I think I stopped a year before my oldest was born, I think. But I would have to get relicensed because it was in a different state as well. So it would be really nice to teach again. But yeah, I do enjoy that. I like dealing with younger kids. And
okay. So when you're looking at job options, is that something that you would have an interest in? Or?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the only thing I have any experience in. I did that, and I was a cashier when I was in college. But I mean, that's the only thing I've done.
Okay. Do you have any other interests as far as job wise?
No, not really. I'm not, like I said, like I don't have any experience doing anything else, so I like to stick to what I know.
Okay. And we definitely can, look at some teaching positions that are open, and working towards getting you recertified and everything like that. Let me sort of ask you a strange question. So say you go home tonight, and you finally get your kids to bed, and you go to bed yourself, and the house is quieter than it's been in a long time, and you go to sleep, and you get the best night's sleep you've had in months. And during the night, when the house is quiet and you're asleep, a miracle happens. And this miracle is that the problem that brought you in today is completely solved. But since you're asleep, you don't know that this miracle's happened. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, what are going to be some of the first things that tell you that a miracle's happened and that the problem you came in here with today is solved?
Well, I guess if a miracle happened, I wouldn't be getting divorced. So I would probably hear my husband and the kids making me breakfast down in the kitchen. But that's never going to happen. So, yeah.
Is there anything else that you would notice?
I'm not sure. That's a very strange question.
It is, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, just, I guess, like, the tense, like, energy that's been in the house wouldn't be there. It's almost like a presence. Like, you can feel it as soon as you walk into the house.
Yeah.
So that would be gone.
So it'd be a little less stressful and tense in the house. Okay. And what would your kids notice?
I think they would notice I wouldn't be as stressed anymore. They can tell when mommy is upset, and they ask. They're like, "Oh, mommy, what's wrong?" And I just have to put on a smile and pretend that they know. So I think they would just be happier, and they would be more relaxed as well. Like they would be playing more and that kind of thing.
So it sounds like, if I'm hearing you correctly, the whole household would sort of be more relaxed and less stressful, and they would see that you're less stressed as well. Okay. And in the past week, has there been a time where maybe the house was a little less stressful, or you were a little less stressed?
It's usually just as soon as John goes to work, everything kind of mellows out from there, and about the last hour before he gets home, it kind of starts to get stressed out again because I just start thinking about having to deal with him. And
yeah. So when he goes to work, it's you can sort of just breathe. And
I can decompress a little bit.
Okay. And so, with the divorce and everything that's going to happen, do you think that you'll be less stressed?
I think at first it's going to be really, really hard, and it's not going to be a fast process. It's going to take a lot of time, but I think eventually that will all be okay. And we do want to try and co-parent and, have a strong front in front of the children and be friendly and have family holidays together still. So I think eventually it'll be all right.
Yeah, and that's really admirable that you guys are working to figure out a plan to co-parent, and it sounds like your kids are really important to you guys, and being strong for your kids. As you said, you said they know that you're stressed, but you still put on a smile and you're still there for them, and that's really admirable.
Thank you.
So if it's okay with you, I'd like to go ahead and take our thinking break now. And you're welcome to stay here, and I'll go out for a couple minutes, and we'll just sort of both reflect on everything we've talked about today, because we've talked about a lot even in our short time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more, and then figure out a plan for future sessions.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for allowing us to take that thinking break.
No problem.
Sort of, again, reflect on everything we've talked about today. And, just the short time that we've been able to talk, I've learned a lot about you, and, you're very strong, and, you're going through so much in your life right now, and yet you're still, you're still there for your kids, and you're still putting on a smile for them, and wanting them to be taken care of, and that's really admirable. And also you've been homeschooling your kids, which is it's amazing. A lot of kids don't get that opportunity, but they're definitely blessed with a great mom like you that has the ability to teach them all of this stuff, and so it's really admirable. And I do agree with you. One of the reasons you came in is to sort of figure out ways to get a job and work on your resume, and counseling and stuff like that. And I do agree that that's going to be an important thing for you. And so after this session, I can give you resources to some individuals that can help with fixing your resume and updating it, and then also working on ways to get you recertified in your teaching license.
That would be great.
Yeah, and sort of figuring out some job opportunities that may work best for you in your situation. And I know you'd also mentioned, maybe some individual counseling, but also some family counseling, where you guys can just sort of, relax, vent, be on the same page.
Yeah.
All this sort of stuff. And so, I want to give you these resources, and I'd also, I'm wondering if you'd like to meet again in the future.
Yeah. Do you do individual counseling yourself?
I do, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Well, if it would work out for you, maybe next time around the same time, we can meet up again and sort of talk about how the week went.
Okay, yeah, I would like that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. I really enjoyed getting to know you, and I'll look forward to continuing working on this with you.
Thank you.